We are running. Everything looks a-okay. That's always a good start to a Wednesday because it's Wealth Wellness Wednesday. Good morning, everyone. This is Carol Sue, aka Naughty Boss, live with
TwoSistas. Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Janice, aka Wellness Diva 5.0, and Wealth Wellness Wednesday. What does wellness have to do with it? What does wealth have to do with it? And how are the two intertwined? Well, I'm going to just turn it over to Casu because I think she kind of explains it a little bit better. But what I want to say about Wealth Wellness Wednesday, in kind or in hand. Take it away, Casu.
All right. Great words. First out, shout out to the Red Sox. Bam, bam. They beat the Yankees last night. And it was so cool because we all know that the month of October is really spreading knowledge, awareness, all about breast cancer awareness. And, to me, it's breast cancer, but, it just brings you back to all those people that are fighting that battle. And of course, Jerry Remy is one of those. And to see him throw out the first pitch was really cool. Nothing like a great Red Sox Yankee series, rivalry, such history. And, I could hear Daddy yelling in my ear and yelling at the TV because we know how, what a huge fan he was, and we were blessed to take him, I want to say it was about 6 years ago, to his first ever time Red Sox game live at Fenway Park. And actually it was for his, I can't remember which birthday it was. It was actually for his 90th birthday party. That was his present. So he was 90 years old when he first attended going to the Red Sox game. And Fenway Park, of course, they have the big Jumbotron, and I've got a great big picture of them wishing him happy birthday. So that was a really cool experience, probably something that Mike and John and I will always remember. But, so it's good to see, I have not really paid attention much to sports, only specific teams. I get the alerts, but there's some teams that you just, especially a rivalry. And, it's a friendly reminder about how the simple game, the good old-fashioned American game of baseball can bring people together. There's that rivalry, Yankees and New York, that's been going on for like New York and Boston for like forever, right? So they came together and they did unite in such a way that there was some tunes going around here and there, as well as in football. Not so much in baseball, but there was a few. And, it's just funny how different things bring people together, but it was good to see him. It was obviously a great win for anyone that is a Red Sox fan. And that, the Red Sox and Yankees, they're going to go back and forth. So it's going to be a great series. So I first wanted to give that shout out. What other shout outs did I have on Wealth Wellness Wednesday? There was one more, and it's going to come to me. I know it will. It just will eventually come to me. But Wealth Wellness Wednesday is really all about showing the impact of how you have that healthy relationship with money. And the more money you have, guess what? The more people, the more community piece to it, the more businesses that you can impact with wealth. And so a lot of people have the preconceived notion that in order to, make an impact, it's got to be this huge donation. First off, Wealth Wellness Wednesday has nothing to do with a donation. Most people kind of don't quite get that. It has nothing to do with you donating to your favorite charity. It has nothing to do with going to church on Sunday and handing over that envelope or synagogue. It does not mean, that in traditional, yearly contribution you make. It has to do with a financial exchange. So in order to have that healthy relationship with money, you have to have a healthy exchange, a healthy financial exchange. Now, when you put healthy in a financial exchange, you think, ooh, you relate to that as paying your mortgage, your bills, the dreaded stuff of, being adult and, being a responsible adult. But there are actions that really impact our health and our wellness. And yes, even our wealthiness in mind and spirit and putting out there in the universe. So it's a frequent action that most entrepreneurs really embrace. A lot of people that are in brick or mortar businesses don't quite grasp it, but most people in entrepreneurship do grasp it, because it has to do with a mindset about giving to others first and foremost, but giving to someone that's least expecting it, because the greatest emotion of all humans is gratitude. And the grateful heart that you feel that you know that you're giving them, whether, again, has nothing to do with the financial exchange. Some people, will give a 20, a 50, 100. Some people will double up on a tip, because usually most of the time, obviously there's some servers out there in the dining experience that you get to love and go and always frequently ask for, but they're most of the time it's someone that you don't know. Could be a gas attendant. There are some states that still pump gas, believe it or not, even with the cost of price of gas. They do have workers that pump the gas. Could be, maybe someone that does a service for you within your home, within your yard that you don't necessarily know. But it also could be a complete stranger. And it's actually more fun when it's actually a complete stranger, because they're unsuspecting. They're not expecting it because of the way that you're going about and actually doing the action, taking the action to a different level. So last week I shared with you how I was cleaning out closets, and I had 4 bags of clothes, and I put money in all 4 bags of clothes, and I put it in the donation box. So when somebody opens that box, now they're expecting, clothes. They're going to go through those clothes and they're going to see, ooh, I like this, I like that. I'm usually generous with my clothes. They even some have tags on them, things that, I bought. And then I got home and I really liked them. And then I just wasn't really crazy about the size. I know all of us can relate to that, right? And then it stays in your closet, and then someday you're going to get to wearing it, and it never happens. How many of us? I can relate to that. I'm sure Jan can too. So I donated some really good stuff this time, but because it would happen to fall on Wealth Wellness Wednesday, which is perfect, because giving even donations in the donation box of clothes and shoes is a giving action. So I spiced it up a little bit, and I put some bills in all the different bags, but you can get very creative. You can leave a note. You can put it on somebody's windshield. Sometimes I'll go into different stores and I'll place it, like if it's a diaper box, especially a diaper box, I put it in where I know they're going to open it. So how cool is that for a mom? And all of a sudden, she gets $5, $10, $20, whatever it may be, even $1, doesn't matter, and opens it up and say, woo, that was a bargain, because that kind of took the cost down of diapers. And we know the cost of our economy is going up. So it's such a great way. Or it could be that you're just treating somebody to something that they really want, whether it's paying for the person behind you, for coffee, for donuts. You know how I feel about coffee. But be that as it may, we know that we have a lot of our listeners and viewers are coffee drinkers. So if you want to, and obviously my other half is a coffee drinker, but you could be paying for their coffee. Maybe it's somebody that wants to go get their nails done. Now, for those that cannot see that are listening, I'm showing my color that I got last week, and I forgot to share it with you, but it's a really pretty.
That is really pretty. And yesterday when you were showing the phone, what I noticed was it kind of matched.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
Yeah.
So it's, but you could be defraying the cost of someone's manicure or pedicure, or maybe, you have somebody that's struggling and they want to buy the diapers, and, their coupon, I love a good coupon. Who doesn't like a good coupon when you get something off? But now this defrays that cost even further. Maybe you're at a gas station. Frequently, I'll put it in a little card, and right where they put their credit card, they're like, what is that? Like, what's sticking out of there? And then, they're looking around like it's candy camera, because sometimes I'll hang out and kind of lurk just to see their reaction. And you would be surprised, and you get giggles out of it. You get enjoyment out of it. So it works twofold. You're spreading joy to someone else, an unsuspecting person with a healthy, wellness, wealthy exchange, financial exchange, right? You're making their day happy, but you also get the joy of knowing that you are impacting somebody else in a positive way. And when you do something like that, guess what it does? It brings your endorphins up, gives you a great healthy mindset. You feel good. You may even start, doing some exercise program that day, because you're just like feeling your oats and you're thinking, I can take on the world. So it rolls over, and it's a domino effect of all avenues of our life. And that is really the description of Wealth Wellness Wednesday.
And, just think of it. As you were saying that, I was thinking of the times, for instance, when I do laundry, I check all the pockets. And the rule of thumb is If I find it, it's mine.
I love it.
So usually I am very successful. And just that exchange that Gary did, which he probably didn't technically mean to. And, sometimes when I find something, especially like when it's a 10 or 20, I'll shout out score. And he's like,
Yes.
hey, I was looking for that. Well, now it's mine, buddy. But anyways, just think of that moment when you find that unsuspecting $5 bill or whatever it may be. Maybe it was winter coats, and the shift of wardrobes is starting to come out. Maybe you find it in a coat or something, and you're like, oh great, now I can stop and put this toward my hair or whatever it may be, a hair appointment. How good that makes you feel. Oh, before I forget,
something good.
Yes, yesterday's afternoon post. So yesterday we had chatted about how I will be going solo on Thursday, October 21st, and I chatted about finding a guest sister.
Oh, yeah, guest sister.
So I put out a post, and I have the adopted sister of the day.
That is awesome. Now you can spill the beans.
Yes.
Got to give a shout out.
Yes, absolutely.
I want to know who's like standing in for me. I have to approve this. You know what I mean?
Well, it's already done deal, so it don't matter.
I know that, but in my mind, I have to still do that.
Right. So
and I want to make sure, she gets the whole lingo, or he gets the whole lingo, or whoever it is.
So I'm very excited to announce that my guest sister for Thursday, October 21st at 8 a.m. is.
Awesome. I'm so excited. I got her book and I'm already started reading it, and it's marvelous. I'm jelly. So you let her know that I do have her book.
I sure will.
And I need her address because I want it autographed, of course. I feel like I'm in really good hands.
Carolyn Warren. And and by the way, she is opening up a Facebook group to talk about the book.
Ooh, oh, that's awesome. I gotta know the deets on that.
Right.
It kind of be like a book club talking about her book.
Right, exactly. And I am so excited for her. This, the women at the table, ordinary women, ordinary moments, extraordinary impact. So I'm very excited for her. And her book is also now available in Target. That's a big deal to be picked up, a book to be picked up from Target. So congratulations.
Absolutely. I'm gonna have to check out Target and take a picture. Maybe I'll have to do a TikTok. I'm on TikTok now. I have no clue what I'm doing, but I'm on it.
TikTok.
Yeah. So funny thing about that, because originally I did not want to be involved with it because of the origin, but that's been changed. And I'm actually in a 7-day TikTok challenge. Well, let me tell you, a friend of mine had to remind me, don't forget, you gotta do your challenge video. And so I decided, before I watch the actual footage of the actual lesson, I wanted to see if, because again, it's technology and we already know that that's not my forte. I want to see if I could figure it out without any instruction, look at the quick video and see. Part of the assignment though, is you have to read the assignment. So in this challenge, there was a specific song, which I didn't realize. There was also certain sayings that you had in. I had the hashtags correct. I had the right person tagged, but I didn't put any of the typed information that they specifically wanted on it. And so the music I chose, so my first one is the first music I chose, has to do with that, that leap of faith that you're taking to take on doing something out of your comfort zone. And while I love to do lives, I like to know exactly what I'm doing. And usually it's off the cuff or it's a prepared subject matter, whatever it may be. But this is, kind of like an Instagram live, combo. And it obviously has different movements to it that you can do. So the whole point was that, you're getting out of your comfort zone. It's a scary moment when you do something that you've never done before. So instead of following directions and understanding the assignment, because that was one of the hashtags, I understood the assignment, which apparently I didn't understand it in the beginning. I put on like this scary Halloween music because, you're supposed to be scared. And then there's different things that you had to do. Never paid attention to the directions. Absolutely not. Just kind of went off and did my own thing. I never laughed so hard in my life. So then I sent it to my friend and I posted on, because we have to, when we do these assignments, you got to post them to make sure that they know that you've completed the assignment. So my girlfriend, she was laughing so hard. She said, I'm trying to tell you, you didn't read the assignment. Because I know you're laughing, but you're supposed to pick out. So everyone had the same song, and which was, kind of like a hip hoppy type beat. And it all had to do with the word assignment. I got the assignment, or I completed the assignment, or I got the assignment. And you had certain actions that you had to do. So you had to go in front of the camera close and then back out like really scared. There was one saying that, you had to put in that you're doing this challenge, and then the next saying would pop up and you would have to point to it. So there's all different direction. And I didn't start the assignment until probably about 9:30 at night, because I was busy all day long. It's one of those busy days. And, to have my composure, because I was laughing my ass off, like I'm in, my office by myself. John's already like 2 sheets to the wind. He was exhausted. And I'm trying to be quiet because I'm laughing so hard.
Did you close the shades, I hope?
Did I what?
Did you close the shades in your office?
No, I didn't. But, where we are, I don't think anyone saw me, but it was hysterical. So needless to say, I did post it on my Facebook post to share it. But I'll send you the real original one where I did. So I've got one where I didn't follow the assignment, and then one where I did follow the assignment. It's really hysterical, but it's a fun app so far. I joined this group because there's just another platform that I wanted to get used to using. There's so many creative things that you can do, and you could, sometimes you'll see somebody fast forwarding or whatever, and there's like a lot of podcasters on it too. So it really is interesting, but it's a really fun way, because sometimes you'll do a challenge or you get involved in a coaching group, and we never, for our audience, viewers and listeners, so, Jan and I never stop learning. Like we join different groups, whether it has to do with, enhancing our coaching style, really finding really positive ways of impacting other people, but also taking ourselves out of our comfort zone. And while we do that, we're also sharing with you how, because a lot of people say, your sister's such a natural doing this, and you're such a natural doing that. How do you guys do it? With a lot of trial and error and, bumps in the road. It doesn't, some things come naturally, but other things we've got to work at. So through our experiences, we're sharing with you that if we can do it, you guys can do it, certainly. So it was really fun. It was a fun event. So you're going to look for 6 more of those, because I'm going to be TikToking. And I even spelled the name wrong. I did TIKTOC, and it's TIKTOK. But I'm like, oh, that's so me. So let's go with it.
Absolutely, with the fatty boobalati fingers there. Absolutely.
Right.
So it's a challenge. That sounds pretty exciting.
It's a 7-day challenge. It really takes you out of your comfort zone. And it's also a way, we're learning the app it's like for TikTok for beginners kind of a thing. And and then when everyone starts sharing them within this Facebook group, you just crack up. Because the one thing I love about TikTok is you really get to, you be yourself, but you get some great ideas. And within those ideas, you flip them around, or you change them to make sure they're fitting who you are. Because we always want to be authentically us. We don't want to be a copycat, because there's a lot of times where different things are mimicked, and that's okay. But you always want to make it your own, with your own flair. And I'll leave it at that.
Right, exactly. And obviously I've talked a lot about Clubhouse. That's like my new jam, and I'm very excited about that. In fact, today, one of my co-authors, Chef Sunny, Cyber Chef Sunny, she will be doing a podcast. I will be on that podcast talking about the book and about my VA business. So I'm really excited about that. That's with Rich Woman Magazine. And tomorrow I will be hosting a room with a gentleman, Gentle Giant, and he really has that soulful voice. His name is Lewis Morris from Heart Matters. And we will be chatting about the yin and the yang of heartfelt relationships.
Very good.
Yeah, so I'm really.
Am I going to start calling you like Delilah, Janice?
Yeah, don't quit your day job.
I embrace that, but I'm thinking you're talking about love and relationships.
Well, we had it, Lewis and I had a great chat. And the one thing that we both agreed on, especially with everything going on in the world today, is how the entrepreneur or even the brick and mortar person who is working from home, how has that developed and affect their relationships? It's very stressful for some people. And I know, especially for me, working from home. And now that my husband is officially semi-retired, or however you want to call it, yeah, that's all I'm going to say.
Well, I had a preview of that our entire marriage, because John, I think he only, at one corporation he worked out like about 3 or 4 miles from the home. He had an office, and that was for about 3 years. Throughout his whole career, he always had an in-home office. He traveled, obviously he was traveling a lot, but his main base was out of the home. So we've always coexisted that way for years. But the flip side of it now is he's the one often doing his thing, and I'm in the in-home office. And it's been it's actually been kind of a nice treat, not in the sense of the obvious, because a lot of times when you have 2 people working at home, but the roles have reversed a little bit, where he's doing more. He obviously does the outside, the gardening and all that. He's so good at that. And we have the side yard, which our friends have nicknamed Central Park South. And he does a really good job. And he's trying to now minimize some of the work by cutting back on some of the plants and whatnot, and cleaning out planters so they're not as daily time consuming per se. But he'll come home and, frantically, he'll start a load of laundry, or I should say, I watch him frantically start a load of laundry. I kind of supervise that still, but he, takes charge of that. I still make the bed and do that kind of stuff, but he, clean the kitchen, he'll vacuum here and there. He'll do some grocery shopping, which he's never done. And it's funny because throughout his whole career, the worst place for him to be in was a grocery store, because, he was a VP, and that was part of his drill per se. So now he's getting more accustomed to going shopping or picking up a few things here and there. So it's been a nice role reversal, where a lot of the errands that I used to do, he's now doing. So it's kind of cool to kind of see that flip in it. But it is, I think that particular room in Clubhouse will be fun and amazing, because it will be a chance for people to like talk about the pros and the cons, and how it does impact. Is like, when do you leave your job? You have to put that switch on. You leave your job to now be that wife, mother, husband, partner, whatever it may be, and then knowing when to, like, not going in that office today. I shut the office door. Hours are closed, and that's really a hard thing to sometimes navigate within a household.
It is. And my favorite story about something like that, and I probably told you, but right around 10 of 12 seems to be the golden hour. So Gary, what?
It has to do with eating.
Yes, a feeding. But we all know Gary is loud. He's worked around heavy equipment all his life. So even him sitting next to me talking, I have to like move away because he's loud. And plus one of, he's like half deaf in one ear. So he'll walk in, frequently does this, although I have to say he's much better about it after the 20th conversation of, if you don't stop doing that, I'm just gonna lose my shit. So he'll come in, you hear the door slam open. Janice, I'm hungry. It's time for lunch. Well, let me see. You don't know where the refrigerator is?
Yes.
So he's finally, he's much better at it. I've got to give him that. He gets it. But when Gary's hungry, there's just like, he's got to get to the refrigerator.
Yeah, that's how John is too. And he's gotten better at, if I'm busy, he goes ahead and, but there's still the same line. What's for lunch? What's for lunch? And I go, I don't know. What is for lunch? So I'm now putting it back on him in a question, and then I just kind of walk away. What is?
Or this is the famous one too. After lunch, I'll, come back to my desk here, and then he'll be, doing whatever, still in the kitchen. Hey, what are we gonna have for dinner? You just get done eating lunch, and whatever's out from the freezer is sitting on the stove. So you figure it out.
I'm sure most spouses, either or, depending on who's kind of the chief chef, can relate to all of that. And it is so true. It's a balancing act. Obviously John does his own breakfast for himself. And, then we're off and running, usually doing pickleball. He's actually at pickleball now. I'm taking the week off. But, he'll come back and, when he gets back, he's ravenous. So he usually will grab for a snack and then like, what's for lunch? So, sometimes I'll try to make a few things ahead of time and say, just open up the refrigerator drawer. I'm sure you'll find something. And then he usually will find what I made or whatever. But, it is a happy balance of, chores and who's going to do what and how you divvy them up. And you want to do it in such a way that you're always giving that other person praise, that they took the effort. And a lot of times part of that struggle of like shutting the office down and now having that healthy relationship is you're going to find that maybe your loved one, your spouse, your partner, whoever it may be, is assisting you in doing things that you do. But the key thing is they're not doing it exactly the way you do it. And that's a balance to know when, okay, fold the towels, I don't fold them that way. Or, he mixed my sports bras in the dryer, now they're shrunk. Or it could be that was the attempt at the bed. Like, where's the sheet? Where did it go? It's crumpled at the foot. Why is there a bump in the bed? So, you have to kind of let go of those things. And that's a happy balance when you're busy working, then you shut the office and now you're thinking of taking on another chore, another thing that, you may not necessarily want to do. They've helped you out and now you feel like you have to redo it. I'm getting better at not, like, I try to tell him ahead of time if it's something that I know, like it has to be done a certain way, or, if something's going to majorly go wrong, then I'll tell him right before he even gets to it. So we don't go through that conversation. But all the other stuff, if the bed's not made exactly the same, because he has an issue with all the pillows on the bed. Like, how many of you, that's a good question. How many pillows are on your bed? We have quite a bit. And he always refers to, I don't know if it was a show or a movie where, I think it was a movie, maybe one of our listeners or, audience or viewers could help us out, where it was this couple and they were going through this, and she had a lot of pillows on the bed, and he ended up taking a knife and cutting them all open, the stuffing was everywhere. But, a lot of times it's compromise. I think compromise is what we have to all learn to do better at. And we continually work at that.
Right, exactly. And, oh, what was that? I heard some back noise over on your end.
No, there's perfectly quiet.
Oh, that was weird. Anyways, maybe it's on this end and we just don't know it. Anyways, Wealth Wellness Wednesday. What are we going to do today? You just never know. It's that unsuspecting gift of energy to an unsuspecting individual to create that ripple effect. How are you going to create that ripple effect? Today has been great. We hope you join us on, as always, on our Facebook page or the many different channels that you can find our podcasts. Go to our website, leave us a voice message, lower right-hand corner, there's a little mic, leave us a voicemail, and we will be happy to get back to you. And, let's hear your thoughts and exchanges. Do you have a big event coming up? Maybe it's a birthday, an anniversary. Let us know and we'll give you a shout out. My name is Janice, AKA Wellness Diva 5.0. I might be checking out TikTok today. And I am with
TwoSistas, and this is Carol Sue, AKA Naughty Boss, live on TikTok now, and it is at Naughty Boss. Very easy to find me. We wish you a happy Wealth Wellness Wednesday. Pay it forward, be kind to others. And remember, it's not about the monetary amount, it's about the action, putting it out in the universe, because what you put out really will come back tenfold. And we wish you a great day. We will see you tomorrow for a Trending Thursday. I think there'll be some TikTok trending, some Clubhouse trending. There'll be some good stuff going on. But you have a great day, everyone.
Bye, everyone.